We've been married for 14 years.
And in 6 weeks.
In 6 weeks.
Yes.
And we're each other's third
Spouse.
So we've been married all together, between us, like 80 years.
Yeah. 6 times. Yeah.
We are each other's third spouse. When I got married the first time, I married someone who had been my boyfriend for a long time. I kind of wasn't madly in love, but I was 28 and I thought I would like to have children. I mean, it was very like rational in a totally irrational way. And I married him and instantly knew I didn't want to be married to him, and instantly knew I didn't want to have children with him. Instantly, like as we were getting married, like at the ceremony.
And when I got married the first time, when we came home from synagogue on Saturday afternoon, I looked down and my hands were completely red. My face had turned red. My body was telling me this was a really bad idea. I had rashes all over my hands and my face. I had to go to a pharmacy to get makeup to cover my face. My first marriage, I realized one day it looked a lot like my parents' marriage, and that scared me. We worked together. From time work was over, dinner started, I realized we sort of went to our separate corners and kind of zoned each other out. I should have had more maturity and wisdom having waited till I was 32.
My second marriage was pretty unusual in that I was a newspaper columnist, and I went into prison to write about prisons, and I fell in love with a prisoner. He was a drug dealer. He killed another drug dealer. It was, one of those turf war, stupid, idiot, drunk and guns. That had like a very high romance quotient because nobody wanted us to get married. It was like we were star-crossed lovers. So that was very dramatic and very romantic and very difficult and very painful. I saw him every day, and we talked every day for hours. There were all sorts of external things to keep us apart, trying to keep us apart. It was us against them, that kind of drama, which heightened the romance. He was in prison for the first over 6 years of our marriage, and then the last 18 months of our marriage, he was out, and we lived together. So that's when sort of the drama of like being kept apart went away, and suddenly we could be together. And he had a really difficult time when he got out. He was emotionally unavailable. He was cruel in that way. So I was never afraid of him physically. He was really hobbled by his experience of being in prison and was angry at the world. And I was an easy target to be angry at. And
once again, you married somebody who really was not
my mother's dream.
Second time I married for looks.
Oh.
And sexuality, and always a bad idea just to marry for looks.
I thought that's when you married me.
No, but there was more. There was like more than just the looks. No, my lawyer said if I was ever going to get married again, he was going to choose my wife because I had such poor choices at the beginning. But he passed away, so I had to make my own decision. I learned, wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very good at the choosing or actually the marriage part of it because we weren't really friends first. We met via a friend online through a mutual best friend, and by the time we actually spoke to each other, a phone call, we had written to each other something like 300 pages of letters.
We had really serious conversations too.
Right.
Like we were old enough at that point that you actually ask each other, like, who are you? What do you believe in? What do you care about? What things had made us unhappy and what things we wanted that would make us happy? And, things that had made us unhappy were different, but we'd had some unhappiness, both of us.
I think we got married for the third time because you were probably in your late 40s and I was 50 something. And there weren't going to be any more kids.
I needed health insurance.
You needed health insurance. That was one of the reasons to formally get married rather than just live together.
I think living together is pretty much the same thing as getting married in terms of how painful it will be to part ways and in terms of how intertwined the people in your life become. My advice is to have it be a person you love hanging out with and who makes you laugh and who is just like your friend. Like, I think the friendship piece is something I didn't exactly understand. And I knew if I was going to be with somebody, it had to be somebody that I just loved being around, which I love being around you. I'm going to say something, then you can override me.
Okay.
I was not going to be number 3, that if we were going to be married, I didn't want to come after the kids. Part of what I would say is like, ask for what you want. Ask for everything you want, because you need to have that all out on the table. You can't sort of imagine, oh, well, I know the kids are really important now, but in a couple of years because if I hadn't demanded that, I would have been 3rd, and I would have been unhappy, and I would have left. So,
And as it turned out, everything worked out really, really well.
but it took years.
Yeah,
you know,
it
it was
took
like,
and yeah, the stepmother stepchildren wars at the beginning were intense, and
Yeah.
over the period of time, it's just become a big love story. Took a while.
yeah.
Well, that's a nice note to end on. So let me
Okay.
have a nice little.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Yes. Oh, I really love it. You're
What a
doing
great thing to do at a wedding.